In case you haven't figured it out and you've been living under a rock, bigotry is bad. Just about every normal American will say they agree, but when push comes to shove, there are still some politicians in some parts of the country who don't care if certain people don't have access to their constitutional rights. And that's what we're going to talk about today. New York State lawmakers, this one's for you. Hey guys, I'm Phil Raboli, and this is the Minuteman Moment. Following the Supreme Court's strong rebuke of New York State's discriminatory proper cause requirement to obtain a concealed carry permit in the Bruen case, legislators in Albany doubled down and enacted new, more invasive methods to dissuade law-abiding citizens who just want to carry a weapon to defend themselves. In response, Gun Owners of America and Gun Owners Foundation filed a lawsuit on behalf of a local resident. And you'll never guess what historic laws the state of New York has now cited in court as a defense. In response to our lawsuit, New York argued that their new subjective good moral character requirement was consistent with the long history in both England and America because two colonial laws in 1756 and 1763 ordered the disarmament of all Catholics or reputed papists, and forbade the sale and trading of arms to indigenous people. So according to the New York State government, when all else fails to disarm people, try bigotry. It truly goes to show how committed the anti-gun crowd is to restricting your Second Amendment rights at all costs, even if it means doing a little tap dancing around racism and bigotry. The fact that their best justification for this policy is the historical disarmament of certain groups underscores the dangerous and historically discriminatory nature of gun control laws. The Second Amendment empowers people to hold the majority accountable and to protect their freedoms, which is precisely why Catholics and Native Americans were to be disarmed. Now, most of us would like to think that using bigotry and racism to strip people of their constitutional and God-given rights is behind us, and that maybe New York is just kind of reaching in this court case to respond to GOA. But I'm here to tell you that we're actually witnessing the opposite. Here's just one example. We've seen a spike in crime directed against Catholics, with the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops documenting that at least 160 incidents of anti-Catholic violence have occurred in 37 states over the last 2 years. And just this last week, we saw a pretty disgusting story published in The Atlantic, and it said that the Holy Rosary, a very mainstream prayer and symbol of the Catholic faith dating back to the Middle Ages, is becoming a militaristic symbol used by radical traditional Catholics who are, in layman's terms, merely Catholics who attend weekly Mass, pray the Rosary, and vote in accordance with their conscience and moral values. Attacking individuals for their faith or ethnicity, especially because some of its central tenets and practices counter the dominant cultural narrative, is a growing problem in our society. New York citing racist, bigoted, discriminatory, and centuries-old laws to justify an intrusive and obstructive anti-gun policy only adds fuel to that fire. How many of these anti-gun representatives in Albany would allow racist and bigoted laws from the past to be used to justify current bad behavior nowadays? Not many of them, I bet. Supporters of this move from New York might say, well, we aren't discriminating against certain people. Now we're being equal opportunity about taking rights away from everyone. If that's the case, congratulations. You've moved on from bigotry to tyranny by using bigoted, racist means. Whether you're a repudiated papist in 1756, a Native American in 1763, or a practicing Catholic in 2022, your guns and faith are considered dangerous and threatening to those in power. Thankfully, supermajorities on the Supreme Court continue to hand down rulings that overturn the anti-gun and anti-religious liberty policies being enacted by these legislators. While we have good reason to be confident that the Supreme Court will continue to ensure constitutional protections for the faithful and those who wish to carry arms in public to defend themselves, the American public needs to wake up to the daily threats posed by some in the media and their own elected officials to their constitutional rights. All right, that's it for this week. I'll see you next time.